I've seen better.
Ah, of course you have.
I've seen better on women.
You suddenly realize he already has a mustache. Why does he put a fake one on?
Well, because it's a lot bigger.
I know, but it still seems weird. Mr. Mustache here, Mr. Mouse. Do you eat those?
No, or at least I shouldn't.
Oh, okay. I have a friend who eats the kernels, so I was going to save them for you if you want. I think there's way too fun for me. Okay, so you have a fake mustache on.
Yes.
And you approach item A.
Yes.
Oh no, my bad guys.
Although she was probably in full view of my putting the mustache on.
You can't tell if she's very observant or not. You guys, I'm assuming you guys were a little ways up the street between your two booths, not like right in front of her, so she probably didn't notice.
So I go up to her.
Are you a drinking man, deputy?
No, I'm not. I'm not a drinking man at all. I very much like the work that you are doing.
A way to be. Is this another? You better put that badge back to whoever you took it from. You sinner, you.
Oh yeah, on whose authority?
On the authority of the Temperance League.
It's
A drunk should not be allowed to be a deputy.
It's alright.
I didn't realize the Temperance League liked to fly in the face of the law.
If the law is drunk, it is not orderly.
Hey, listen, if you want to stand up to... they say you can't fight City Hall, but I'd like to see you try.
You are a spawn of Satan, spreading your evil ways.
Listen, we got some...
Yeah, I think you should back away. I'm so sorry, this man... I don't know what this man's on about, so... I don't know, I really thought I was not going to get
You guys can nominate each other for things, too. Just pouring blood.
I can't nominate him, he's winning.
Yeah, there's only two of you, so...
We just nominate everything we say, we just nominate.
No, my God, I'm kidding.
Get out! He's a murderer!
Get out!
He's a murderer.
Shut up. Okay, what are you going to say there?
I just forgot why we were at the lady floor.
She was...
the murder.
She said something about it being a Union spy or a Secret Service or something.
So we heard... So you heard about the awful murder that has happened. We heard you might know something about that.
I heard he was a Union man.
Really?
He was a government man. I don't know why he was seeing a whore, but he was a Union man and some kind of spy for the government. That's why.
Is that all you know?
Wait a minute, who did he hear it from? Sorry, he doesn't know how to question people, he's drunk.
Are you drunk, young man?
I am not drunk at all.
I should know better than to listen to this kind of
Exactly.
Here, read this. She hands you a pamphlet, a temperance pamphlet. It's all about, there's a lot of quotes from the Bible, and there's a lot of things about how
okay, I start growing through it and editing it to match my
it is pretty bad. Actually, it needs a good proofreading. Go ahead, so.
So how do you know about this man?
Oh, I just heard it around.
From who?
She honestly, she thinks about that, and she can't remember. It doesn't seem like it was... She heard some people talking in the street, she thinks.
Okay.
You ain't a gossip, are you, dearie?
I am not a gossip. And if people are eavesdropping when I'm telling something to my friends, that does not make me a gossip. You drunkard. What are you writing on that pamphlet for? It's for reading, not writing.
There's a few errors. I figured I'd sort it out for you.
Are you fixing the errors to more say that drunkenness is, that liquor's good, or are you actually just proofing it?
Both.
Okay.
Because I want to get across the impression that things which suggest that that all of this temperance stuff is some kind of language error. So I want to fix the language errors.
Water to wine, you're going to put that in?
Yeah.
And stuff like that? Okay. I don't honestly remember who it was, Deputy. I'm so sorry.
It's alright.
And I'm not a gossip.
You're doing a really good job here.
Well, thank you. We are trying very hard to make the world a better place.
Yes you are. And if you do find any more information, just try to find me or the other deputy. Don't go to this man.
I wouldn't even think of it.
That is good.
All
What
right,
is your
I guess-
disguise skill?
What? Oh, my disguise is 35.
Make me roll real quick.
Okay.
You
I
put
mean,
the
I'm not
mustache
disguising
on him.
myself right now.
No, but you put the mustache on him. So
That's true.
I'll have to be sort of a disguise. Your character's clean shaven otherwise, right?
54.
Okay, so
Not
it's just slapped on.
yeah. It's a little bit crooked even.
Yeah. It doesn't really change your appearance considerably. So
Okay.
all right, so that looks like it was turned into a dead end a little bit.
So and then I hand back the pamphlet.
The proofread pamphlet.
Yep.
She puts it down on the table. Make me spot hidden. You can make
Okay.
one too, actually.
Okay.
We're sorry, Jimmy. Dr. Lazinsky.
Ooh, 84.
What's that? 70?
That is is that 00?
0. Yeah.
That is 07.
Oh, 07.
That's an impale on. If you have what's your spot hidden? 50?
Yeah, I think so. Wait a minute.
Don't think that's 10. That's an impale. She put it down, and you look over your shoulders. You're leaving, and you see one of the other ladies pick it up, and she's looking through it. She's like, "Oh," and she starts like fiddling with it, like she is. Your proofreading or something about it has actually hit home with this woman. So,
Oh, okay.
anyway, so
You go, finally doing good for once.
I always do good when I stand up to the temperance movement.
time
Don't
passes.
you agree, Mr. Clean?
Mr. No, that's not a reference. That's a.
Oh, I'm just calling.
1970.
Yeah, I know. I'm still calling him Mr. Clean.
Around midnight, a shout
It's not a reference.
from the back of the Dog Eye Saloon quickly grows into a loud commotion.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, I'll join.
Around midnight, a shout from the it becomes a large commotion around back in the alleyway.
We go around.
Okay.
We investigate.
A small crowd has already begun to gather. Off to one side, a man leans against the side of a nearby outhouse, loudly vomiting. Whoever it was that beat him into the privy is nearly as vocal. You have to push through. You have to push through this crowd
push
again. And this time you find a body,
Oh, a dead body.
a dead body with no legs.
So, there's a crowd,
Yeah,
and there's a guy who's throwing up.
there's two guys throwing up. One guy's in the outhouse. One guy didn't make it to the outhouse. The other guy beat him there, and he's throwing up.
Well, address the crowd first. Who saw it? Anything?
Yeah.
You recognize the body, Ralphie.
Oh.
What a justice.
The guy keeps beating up that poor.
I mean, he's a violent guy, but I don't know about hacking legs off. That's not justice to me.
Nobody saw
An
anything.
arm for a leg.
Wow. You started questioning them. Somebody had stumbled across this corpse not too long ago.
We need to be
Drew the
responsible
crowd.
about purchases. That's all.
As you guys are trying to talk to the crowd, Jake Simpkins shows up with his men.
Okay.
He sees the body. He starts to blame the U.S. government.
Or he does.
Says that they're responsible. And he has a real Southern accent too. This boy might have been a Confederate. back in
Who
the
was
day.
it?
Jake Simpkins,
Oh,
Ralphie's
okay.
brother.
Yeah, all right.
One of the writers suggests it's all a plot to discredit the Southern states. It's been perpetrated by the North, of course. This gets some reaction from the crowd, which kind of starts splitting up into two groups, starting to face off.
Well, now wait a
You
minute.
see somebody's drawing a knife. It looks like a fight might break out.
Well, wait a minute. Jake, has he talked to Ida May at all?
You don't know. Do you ask him that?
Yeah.
He ignores you.
Okay.
Looks like he's forming up on the Confederate side. It
I
might be pretty bad.
said we need to stop this crowd immediately.
Yeah, thanks for telling me. Meanwhile, I'm going to kind of try to put myself between these two crowds.
Okay, okay. That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it works.
Yeah.
I join it.
I've got
Okay,
my gun
you
up
two
like
are,
this.
you've got your gun up, you're in between the crowds, people are angry. What do you want to say? What do you want to do?
First one who crosses this line gets a bullet.
Ooh, that's a bold
okay.
play.
That is a bold play. I'm going to need an intimidation roll. Have you got any points in that?
No.
That's fine.
24. What can I do with a token if I give it to you?
It's worth a point. You can lower that 24 to a 23. What is your intimidation?
15.
15?
Okay.
So 24, you'd require 9 tokens.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have that
6.
You guys can trade.
Collectively, yeah.
You guys can, if he's willing to give them to you, you can do anything you want with them.
I'm fine with
If you want to give him 6 tokens, that's the whole point of the thing, is to allow you to get those numbers up.
6.
Well, no, just give me 5 and we'll both have 1.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There you
Okay.
go. That's 9.
Alright. The crowd stops. They seem cowed. There's some grumbles and murmurs on both sides. A few moments after you've at least stopped the situation temporarily, White Earth shows up. He also has a gun in hand. And he disperses the rest of them, tells them basically, get the hell out of here. Congratulates both of you on your handling of the situation, with no blood spilled, surprisingly.
Wait, what about Jake? Did he leave?
Yes. So he was one of the last ones out of the alley.
Okay.
Gave you both glares. Glared at Herb. Obviously thinks that the Union's behind this. The North, whatever.
It's always the North.
Well, I'm not gonna fight him on it. My dear old dad was a Southerner himself, but war's over.
Yeah, long over. Alright, Earp's gonna order the body taken to Doc Smith's, have him look at it again. Basically, he's giving you guys a pat on the back, good job.
Yeah. Let's go.
Well, the guys who were vomiting, they might have seen it.
They didn't. You do manage to snag them and find them. You're not going to forget that face. They saw the body, and that's what freaked them out and got them all sick.
Okay.
It looks like this happened. It looks like it didn't happen too long ago, though. It's not like the body's old and crusty. It wasn't this afternoon. It was not too long before midnight.
Can we look around the area? Like, inspect? Like, look?
Yep. You don't find the legs. They're just gone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blood right there. He was killed right at that spot.
That does lend itself to an interesting question. The legs are gone. Where did they go?
Well, yeah, exactly. But
Is
somebody
there
cut his
any
legs
blood
off.
trails, anything like that? Or should I just do a spot check?
There's no blood trail. Whoever did it must have stabbed him. There is a cut in his chest and then cut his legs off. Again, it's shallow. It's a shallow wound. It's not like a knife. It's like very small blade.
Like a butcher.
Even smaller than a butcher knife.
Tiny.
It looks more like... You know you've seen blades that small. But you're having trouble...
Like maybe a scalpel or a stiletto or something?
Maybe a scalpel. Stiletto would still be good and long.
Oh, okay.
It would be sharp and it would be like a pointed, but this is it's a cut on one side. It looks like... scalpel actually seems to be the closest that you can think of. Somebody cut his leg off with a scalpel.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
That must have took.
That's
wrapped it up.
It should have, yeah. You would think it would take 10 minutes a leg. If the blade's only this big, how did he cut the legs off quickly? And the body couldn't have been here that long.
I am really at a loss.
Yeah, honestly. Can I just do just a spot hidden?
Yeah, I'll let you just watch it.
I don't know, just to see if anything, just to try. Okay. 99.
99. You must have missed something. You spend the next hour and a half combing the alley. There's nothing there. You don't find anything.
Okay.
You're very tired by the end of it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, time to go home.
It looks like it. Breakfast the next morning. It's the 5th. July 4th. It's Tuesday, July 4th. Yay, tonight's a celebration. Tomorrow you don't have to deal with this shit anymore.
That's true.
Wilma shows up.
Your girl Wilma.
Tells you Doc Smith would like to talk to y'all. He's got something to tell you about the murder scenes.
Okay.
And you finish
The
your
feeling is
breakfast and
mutual.
go after her. He greets you in the reception room, sits down in a plush chair, and motions you to find some seats. And he starts, he says, Susie's still incoherent, but I think she'll probably be better by this afternoon. Maybe
I start to go for the seat that Wilma is sitting in and think of it, decide better of it.
Okay. He says, these 2 murders have left me thinking that I've seen something like this before.
You have. Tell us.
It's back in '63. I served in the Confederate Army as a surgeon. During the Battle of Gettysburg, I was stationed at a field hospital, and the wounded were coming in thick and heavy. I was stitching together some poor young man's arm when I heard a tremendous commotion from the triage tent, where the other men were waiting for our attention, or were long past needing it. It was a hot night, kind of like it'll be tonight, kind of like it's been every night. And although it was 10 years ago to the day, I remember it like it was only last week. I handed out my needle to my nurse, and I trotted out to see what the hullabaloo was all about. At first I thought the Yankees had outflanked us and were attacking us in the night. It turned out to be worse. Much worse. Apparently some butcher in surgeon's clothing had been working his way among the wounded, amputating healthy limbs as he went. No anesthetic, no bullet to bite on, just a quick cut with the knife, and the arm of the leg was gone. In some cases they took heads. There was one man by the name of Ketchum who spotted him. Ketchum was near to death himself, but had been awakened from his delirium by the screams of those the butcher was dismembering. The soldier standing guard outside the tent had ignored the yells. After a while, listening to wounded men scream, knowing you can't do a thing about it, you just try to shut it out. Anyhow, Ketchum managed to reach a sidearm and plug the butcher full of lead. The gunshots were what finally got the guards to come running. When the soldiers arrived, they saw the butcher standing over Ketchum, who was still firing an empty pistol at the killer, despite the fact that his right eye was impaled on the tip of the butcher's bloody scalpel. With an insane cackle, the madman ran off, despite the fact the guards swore they hit him with their rifles as he fled. Now, I don't know if it means anything or not, but these murders here in town sure do remind me of that night. I've inspected the body. The bodies here in Dodge, and the wounds were almost identical to those suffered by the soldiers, massacred in their beds at Gettysburg. The butcher's here. We're in for a heap of trouble.
Well, what else? Can you tell me anything about the butcher other than what you just said?
I didn't see him. Only Ketchum did. Ketchum's long gone. I don't know where he even is. He's alive somewhere, but he was a... How does a man cut off arms and legs with a scalpel? That's what I want to know. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
You need a saw. You need something to cut the bone. Even when they cut at the shoulder. I don't understand it. It's unnatural.
There's always an explanation for everything.
Sounds like myths to me, but I ought to know better than anyone else. Sometimes the myths are the truth.
I don't know. It's disturbing. If you don't find this man, well.
Is Susie ready to talk?
No, she's not. I'll let you know.
Has she said anything weird?
No. She again, when she seems to be lucid, she's just babbling. It's not even words. It's just noises. She seems to be better. I'm hoping that by tonight, maybe tomorrow at the latest.
That'll be good. So we head out?
Well, yeah, we thank you for...
Unless you want to take a swing with Wilma.
Well, I do. I
just having a little discussion right in front of him.
Well, that's right. I say, well, we thank you for bringing us down here, and thank you too, Zach.
Zach? He leaves. He walks out of the room. Apparently doesn't care for that nickname. Alright. You leave.
Yeah.
The rest of the day there's a lot of scuffles. You guys end up breaking up several fights. There's a lot of noise about the killer is obviously a Confederate. The killer's a former Confederate. No. Killer's some kind of government man. Just the rumors are starting to spread fast. You notice one point when you see a fight breaking out, Wyatt walks by it with his gun on his hand, or his hand on his gun, and the men kind of quiet down, scared of him obviously.
Wait, who had it?
Wyatt.
Alright.
Sister Marshall Wyatt. You're just finishing up supper. The sun is just setting when a boy from the dog's eye runs up to y'all. And he breathlessly pants that Susie Winger has recovered enough to talk to you. She's back in the saloon in her room. And, well, not in that room, in a new room.
Let's go.
Okay.
We head off.
You get to the dog eye.
What's it? Let's go.
You find out from dog eye where her room is. It's across the hall from the old room, which is not being left yet. They're keeping that one locked up. And he says she's expecting you can go on up.
Okay.
Okay, you go up the steps, knock on room C, which is at the end of the hall by that door where across from her other one, and she greets you weekly.
Well, so I did come to visit you after all.
Obviously recognizes you. You say that to her, she's like, "It's about time." And it's obviously a joke, a little joke between the two of you. You don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, I pretend to be all disapproving. I had no idea you were that kind of a man.
You're wanting to talk?
I never did anything like this in the last year.
Maybe 6 months.
Oh, for you? It sounds like it was a lot sooner.
Fast friends.
More like acquaintances.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would only think fast friends could kid that way with each other.
Well, yeah. Tell us what you saw.
Well, all right. She says, Paul, that's the man who was murdered. He was a government man. He was a government spy. Working for he insisted on coming into my room that night. And normally he preferred to meet me in the alley out back, but after our run-in with you that day, he was afraid we'd be spotted. I generally tend to bring him information from. Yeah, she gave his full name, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul. I give him information. I can find out a lot of things from people. But after that day, so he came up the back stairs. Now they creak horribly, so I was ready for him when he got there. We were talking quietly when the monster burst in.
Monster?
He was a horrible, evil-looking thing. I didn't even hear him coming.
Describe it.
It was hard. I couldn't see his face. It was like it was blurry.
Was he?
And he kept it partially covered. He was a good-sized man.
Good size?
Yeah, a scalpel with like a white handle, like bone or whalebone.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't hear him. The door burst open. He came in and got us completely by surprise. Paul had locked the door behind him. Normally I do that, but since he only wanted to talk, I hadn't bothered. Not only that, hey, stop it. Hope! Quit. Dog. Not that I think it would have done a bit of good, he would have busted right through. He was tall, he was slim. I couldn't see his face. All I remember was his eyes glared out at me from beneath the brim of a black top hat. And then he hit me across the face.
Black top hat.
She does like kind of like this. Her lips are all swollen. He must have like backhanded her. And I blacked out. I think I hit the wall. When I came to, I saw the butcher. That's what Doc Smith calls him. He was standing over Paul, stuffing his head into a bag. I just started screaming. I didn't know what else to do. And he turned to glare at me again, and then he leapt right out through the window like he was walking through a door. That's the last I remember until this morning. Dr. Smith tells me I was kind of out of my head.
So you said,
let's compare notes.
You guys fucking around and they clue you might have, you're gonna lose. What did you do this time?
Oh, no.
Me, the bad guy. Idiots. Give me a coin, though. No.
For what it's
there you go.
No.
For what it's worth, I actually can draw.
That's fun. No, that's cute.
That's what your Watson.
So anyway, so what were we gonna ask? What do you want to say? That,
Okay, so we don't really have a physical description. We heard black top hat.
Tall and slim. His face you couldn't get a good look at. Glaring eyes. Kept most of his face covered. He had like a cape or a cloak or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Not really much of a physical description. All we know is that he went out the window, so we don't know where he went, who he was. He didn't identify himself. I can't imagine.
No, it didn't make sound. Didn't hear him coming at all.
And you're sure he came up those back steps?
Paul came up the back steps. I heard Paul come. He creaked up the back steps. I could hear him from my room.
So she knows who was murdered, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows Paul was murdered.
Okay, so
Paul came up the back steps. She said, I could hear him coming because they're so loud.
So that helps a little bit. Do we know anything else about? And I'm saying this not to
What did
Susie,
you tell?
but to you or to myself. Do we know anything about the other person that was murdered? Do we know who that is?
That was
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jake Simpkins.
Oh, it was.
You know it was Jake. Remember, they left his
It was
head.
Ralphie. Yeah.
Sorry, it was Ralphie, yes. Jake was the one who's all mad about the whole situation.
Yeah. So the two people who have been murdered so far, Paul and Ralph.
Well, what were you gonna tell Paul?
There's nothing that I had to pass on to him. It's just about it's not I can say. I don't think it has anything to do with this.
Yeah, there's no way. But so our current lead, based on what we have, is the two people who were murdered, Paul and Ralph. What do they have? Yeah, what do they have in common? Do they have any enemies?
Do you know anything about Ralphie?
Who?
I don't think so.
Okay, sorry, never mind.
Okay.
But so what we got to find out, and I don't know who we would put in, where we would get this information. Is there like maybe a census taker, or do we get this from Ryder? Is Paul and Ralphie's family, other than maybe Jake, but we can talk to Jake too.
That's really our best bet.
Ralphie's not a local. You're local, you know that.
Okay.
Neither's Paul. From your guess, if he's a Union spy, if he's like a government spy or a government Secret Service guy or whatever, he's probably not. He doesn't live around here. You don't recognize the name. Paul Goodwin doesn't ring any bells.
Okay, so we're saying Paul is the spy, not the murderer.
Yes, Paul's a Union or a government spy. Susie finds out information from her Johns, and Paul comes around every once in a while and she'll give him that information, if it's in any importance.
Okay.
There's still Confederate sympathizers, there's still people who wish the South to rise again, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes it can be about that, other times it might be about other kind of crimes. She's basically like an informant.
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to.
So that helps us a little bit. That means that our murderer is more likely to be a Southern sympathizer, but that doesn't really tell us anything. We just need to find out. And also, Ralphie was a Southerner, but Paul is a Northern sympathizer, so this is unlikely to be a politically motivated attack.
It's interesting, the parts that are to be taken. A head, an arm, another arm, and the legs. Crate.
Somebody's coming up the outside steps. You can hear it from her room here. It's so loud. Those steps are so loud.
Okay. Turn around.
Yeah. Did you close her door when you came in to talk to her?
I didn't.
No, I did not.
Okay, the door's just open. The door opens, and one of those Texans are coming in, obviously, for the night. They look a little drunk, but not like the other guy that you talked to, the whiskey guy, your friend, your whiskey friend. But they're a little tipsy. They go, "Oh, hello, deputies."
Howdy.
And then they kind of wander up to their room. They struggle with the key, and they finally go in.
Okay.
Somebody hits a bed pretty hard, like. Oh.
Well, so that happened.
Well, they're still staying here, obviously.
Life keeps going on while we're doing our thing. It's an easy thing to forget. But so I think the only person we can think to do is maybe talk to Jake.
Yeah.
Find out if Ralphie had any enemies. I mean, he at least had the one, which is Walt, but...
that's very unlikely.
Do we have any reason... Well, Walt doesn't wear silk. He doesn't know anything about surgery.
Yeah.
So...
He's very much... Were you going to say something?
You can each make an idea roll.
Idea. Okay.
I'll give you a little hint here, potentially.
Ooh, I got a 7.
Jeez. Okay. If you're suspecting Walter, you might also ask around to see if he has any connection with... his connection with Ralphie. Does he have any connection with Paul?
Well,
so that's a possible lead as far as if you want to follow that route.
That's true.
If you don't think it's Walter,
does Walt match the description?
He doesn't at all.
Okay.
It was a white man, from what Susie says.
Okay.
She thinks it was a white man.
Maybe.
But like she said, his face was blurry.
Yeah. Maybe one of us. Maybe you go to Jake, since he probably doesn't like me the most.
Yes.
So it might be best if you go to Jake and I'll go to Walter.
Yeah, sure. We'll do it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do I go about finding a man like Jake? Can't be that hard to find. He's a
No, it probably wouldn't be. You can ask around and you'll be able to find your way. You're going to Jake and you're going to Walter?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do Walter first.
Sounds good.
What do you want to? You don't have to role play it out. You can just give me in general what you want to try to find out from her.
I just want to know what he was doing that night, just to make sure that
he's sleeping in a flop house.
Okay.
So it's a big room with a lot of people sleeping at the dorm. He doesn't have much money. No, he's from here. He went home.
Okay.
I forgot that he's actually from Dog City. Why else would he be here if he has no money and he's passing out pamphlets? Yeah, he went to bed around midnight, a little later last night. Went home. He lives on the edge of town. It's just a shack. And
does he also know of a guy named Paul Goodwin?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
Apologies to the audience for the fact that I have not been paying attention to the fact that there's a camera on me all this time.
That's probably for the best.